Chapter 2. First, I will discuss three codes of nonverbal communication and how they impact and interact with verbal communication. I thought that facial behavior was a huge impact on the way we communicate. Our face can show all our emotion, and I think that it's very hard to have complete control over them. If you dislike something, your face may give it away, even if you are trying to say otherwise. If you're bored, your face might show that as well. If you're trying, if you can try masking or using less facial expressions to help. Most of the time, the normal face cues. For Chapter 2, first I will discuss three codes of nonverbal and how they impact the interaction with our verbal communication. I thought facial behavior was a huge impact on the way we communicate. Our face can show all our emotions, and I think it's very hard to have complete control over them. If you dislike something, your face will give it away, even if you are trying to say otherwise. If you're bored, your face might show that as well. If you're trying to mask or use less facial expression, it might show anyways. Another non-communication code I thought was my body movement was important. People can talk with their hands, and it can show excitement if you gesture or stand stiff for a presentation. This is also a non-verbal communication code. Finally, there's space. I do not think about this as a non-verbal communication code, but the amount of space we have between yourself and somebody else has a connection with verbal communication. Are you within personal space 18 inches or 4 feet, or in the comfort zone closer to a public zone? Next, I'll answer number 2. Here are 4 purposes of non-verbal communication. First is to show emotion. Our facial expressions connect to our words and can show if we're happy or bored or annoyed. The second is to convey impersonal attitudes. If you can tell what a person thinks throughout the nonverbal actions, such as being tired in the morning, this will show your personality. Your tone can show if you're a shy or a loud person. The fourth is to accompany verbal communication. If you do not like what you're saying but have a smile on your face, the verbal and nonverbal communication do not connect. For Chapter 3, I chose to answer if I believe HURIER model is useful to improve my listening. I believe that the model is beneficial in the right environment, but others it might not be. For example, in an interview, you might have time to use the model, but in a normal conversation or a big group of people, you may not have time to use the model and not get your point across. The next question I chose to answer is to discuss listening barriers. One example is rate of speaking of another person and not being able to understand what is being said. Another example is physical barriers such as noise, or in my experience, a radio can cut off at the beginning or ending of a sentence, making the sentence unable to be understood.